Tom Brady's been in the league 16 years and made it to 12 AFC title games. So therefore, Tom Brady has a better chance, 75%, of going to the AFC Championship than Blake Bortles does of completing a pass. I don't know if that's completely true, but I just said before, if the Jags make it to the Super Bowl, here's going to be the logo from the NFL. You tell me, does this look like something you would be proud of? That is just not going to make that. Again, it's cute.
It's cute.
Should be like the Puppy Bowl.
You know, puppies can get angry if they haven't been fed.
Jaguars. That's another thing. Like two people in the hallway today are, I can't wait to watch the Patriots Jaguars game.
Why are you saying it Jaguars? Jaguars.
There are people now saying it like that.
Jaguars? Why?
Because they've got mental problems or something. That's not how you pronounce it.
Jaguar?
It's Jaguars. Did you ever go to a car dealership? Could I look at your Jaguar?
Well, that's how they say it in the commercial, like Jaguar. Like it's what is it, like British or something?
All right.
Yeah, it's British.
So Alvin Kamara, the Saints, going to stop by. Stud offensive co-rookie of the year. Part of the fun of sports is not just me coming on and talking about the game yesterday. Any host can do that, and that's not that fascinating, except for 4 or 5 big games a year. Is that part of what I like about sports is sort of like predicting and guessing. Like you'll see stuff happen in sports, and you're like, it's kind of almost like a little bit of, it's 25% gossip, 25% of journalism, 25% of deducing, 25% detective work. I remember years ago, Randy Moss was a Patriot, and he played a Monday Night Football game, I think against Miami, and they targeted him one time. And I came on the air at ESPN, and I said that Tuesday morning, John, you could have been with me. I said, he's done. He's out of New England. There's a major problem. And people went crazy. This is irresponsible. And I said, it's not that he caught one pass. They targeted him one time, meaning Belichick's weaned him out of the offense. Belichick's moving Randy Moss. Well, it just so happened 4 days later they got rid of him. So all year long, Big Ben's been taking shots at Mike Tomlin last couple of years. And everybody's like not making a story out of it. I'm like, this doesn't happen. Hall of Fame quarterbacks don't take shots at potential Hall of Fame coaches. Over and over and over and over and over. Like, what's happening? Make a few calls, and I was deducing that he's taking shots at Tomlin because he's aging as a player, Big Ben is, and he's tired of what my sources say is an incredibly loose locker room with no discipline. And when Terry Bradshaw came on the show and he said, I've never thought of him as a great coach. He's mostly a cheerleader. The PC media is like, oh, my God, Bradshaw's outrageous. No, Bradshaw was saying what my sources were saying is he's a motivational speaker more than he is sometimes a situational great football coach. And everybody in the league who could deduct anything saw the same thing. Well, the story comes out this morning. Oh, my God, the rumors are always true. Listen to this. Tucked in the end of an article by Ed Bouchette of the Pittsburgh Post-Gazette was news that Le'Veon Bell, star running back, listen to this, skipped all but the final 5 minutes of the Saturday walkthrough before last weekend's game against the Jags. This was after 2 days earlier talking about his contract instead of the game. He also reportedly showed up later than the deadline set by Tomlin for game days. The coaches said, I want you there, and the staff 2 hours before kickoff. Le'Veon Bell would show up an hour before kickoff. So now you got a guy that's had drug suspensions, injuries, talking about his salary before big games. This is what we deducted on this show the last 2 years. This is why Big Ben, smoke equals fire, kept taking shots at Tomlin. So Mike Tomlin won't do anything about it. He won't do anything about it. You got a running back who's showing up an hour before a game that won't go through the walkthrough. Can you imagine how Belichick would react to that? So, this is when we go on a tangent for 2 years. When I start saying it's a story, it's a story, it's a story, I'm not doing it just to fill space. We're doing it because we got a major story here. This is not a minor story. Here's something else. Tomlin's loose, coddles players, and the problem is one of his star players is immature. So coddling players I would never do, but, I think Sean Payton sometimes can. Pete Carroll certainly does. Coddling players isn't my style, but Pete Carroll's won a Super Bowl doing it. Tomlin's won a Super Bowl doing it. Sean Payton's a little looser. He's won a Super Bowl doing it. More than one way to win in this league. The problem, though, is if you coddle kids, if you're a coddling parent, you're a coddling employer, you're a coddling coach, what happens when a star is one of the guys that takes advantage of it? You can cut a third-string guy. try cutting Le'Veon Bell. But I also thought this was very interesting, is that did you notice what Pittsburgh was doing? Not only was Big Ben lashing out, but Big Ben's got influence over the offense. Did you notice what happened to Le'Veon Bell later in the season? Through Week 10, he was averaging almost 25 carries a game. From Week 11 on, he was averaging 16. 8 fewer carries a game. That was Big Ben's influence. We got to grow up, people. We cannot be dependent on this guy. Can't trust him. Car shopping's confusing. Dealer price, list price, invoice. Terms, you're not sure what they mean. It's real easy. New or used car, go to TrueCar.com. They'll tell you what other people are paying for the car you're about to see at your TrueCar certified dealer. TrueCar.com. Christine with the news.
No. Heard on the news. This is the Herd Line News.
Tom Brady is at practice, and he's wearing protective gloves on his hands. So this could be either maybe he's hiding some bandages on his hand, or maybe he's just trying to increase the suspicion of what could possibly be going on.
Right.
But Malik Jackson from the Jaguars does not think that Brady's injured at all.
I remember LaShawn McCoy said he had a high ankle sprain and came out there cutting stuff. So I'm really get ready for his best and make sure that we're all out there ready just to get Tom Brady's best to make sure that we create pressure. Can't do any flybys. That's a rallying tackle and just frustrate him. So he is 40, so we can hit him as much as we can. Make him do push-ups off the ground. That'd be ideal. But we know we have they got a stout O-line, so we'll see if we can get past him.
Yeah, they're not going to take it easy on him. But do you think there's something serious here?
Well, I having lived in Vegas, the betting line came down from 9.5 to like 7.5.
Oh.
So that tells you there is concern that, it's something. The way it works in football is Thursday's a really big day. Like Monday and Tuesday aren't as big of days. Thursday, they can put certain parts of the offense in for a Sunday game. So when Tom misses a Thursday practice.
That's when you know.
Yeah, I think during the regular season, Christine, he missed some Wednesdays, and people were suggesting he's a veteran player. Wednesday's not a key practice day. Thursday's your big practice day when you put your offense in, you put your third down offenses. So Tom missed yesterday's practice. So that's telling you that first of all, Brady doesn't like to miss anything. Like, he won't even let the backup take snaps.
Right.
So if he missed yesterday, it made people in Vegas nervous, and they're like, it's something.
Is there any chance that the Patriots or Bill Belichick would be faking all of this? Or trying to outplay what it really is?
I don't think so. But listen, manipulation is a part of sports. I don't think, John, I might be wrong in this. I don't think you can be dishonest about injuries in the league. I think that's you get fined.
No, you can't, but they could have him putting gloves on and he doesn't really need them.
No, but they issued a report. Right,
on the injury report.
Yeah, I don't think you're allowed. If you do that, I think you get fined by the league. That's a no-no. So I don't think they'd fake it. Now, could they?
I mean, it's not like the Patriots haven't done some questionable things in the past.
Right. That would be weird for them to literally put out a report that was absolutely false, which, by the way, they weren't responding to a story.
Or maybe his hand is hurt, but it's like now it's becoming a bigger deal, and they don't mind that being a story.
Right.
I don't know. I'm just playing devil's advocate here.
They are the manipulator of the league. I mean, so if there's anybody that would do that, it would be New England.
Yeah. Well, everyone has sort of an opinion on how the Jaguars could beat the Patriots, and many don't think that it's possible. So Doug Marrone is getting advice from many people, including a group of kids who wrote a children's book on how to defeat the Patriots. They actually sent it to the Jaguars, and here it is.
Someone just handed it to me when I was coming in here. Want to beat the Patriots? Here's how. Advice from your number one fans, the Bulls first grade. That's the one thing I will say about this week. It's kind of thrown me off. I find it hard to believe how so many people have an opinion on how to beat the New England Patriots, and no one's really have done that.
So a first grade class, and in it is 2 very important pieces of advice. Number 1, don't be nervous. And 2, focus on the football. I think those are both great things to remember when the Jaguars are playing the Patriots. So good job from that first grade class.
Way to go. Nice job.
I love that they actually got it to the coach. That's amazing. Yeah. And finally, Philly police are issuing warnings to businesses about the NFC title game celebrations if the Eagles were to win. They're nervous that there could be riots in Philadelphia, so they're telling businesses to take precautions and protect your property. Remove anything outside of the business, like if there's flower pots or signs or anything, because people will just be crashing through. They're saying to turn on your cameras so that if something does happen, they can catch the guys. And if you sell alcoholic beverages, put them in plastic cups and do not sell bottles.
God.
That makes me
that you literally, because your fans are so out of control that you have to warn people that, hey, if we win, they'll break stuff.
Clean. Well, I was in Boston when the Red Sox won, and it was really, really scary. It was really scary. And so it's not just Philadelphia that this happens to. It's everywhere. There are people climbing signs and billboards and rioting, and the police are out there. I don't understand why you feel the need to wreck things and harm people when your team wins.
Or harm property. I
don't get it.
Yeah. Christine with the news.
Well, that's the news.
And thanks for stopping by.
The Herd Lie News.
Alvin Kamara's a Saints running back. He was the shock of the league, not because he wasn't good, but he was a third-round pick. Played for Alabama, moved on, played for somebody else, then broke into the NFL with Sean Payton, Drew Brees, and they hit an absolute home run, and so did he. The third-rounder is now the co-offensive rookie of the year with Kareem Hunt. Let's bring Alvin Kamara on the show. All right. My God, I saw you play for a little college football, and all of a sudden you show up in the NFL, and I'm like, is he a better NFL player